Welcome to another BasedBellagio video. This is a different style video. I want to help you guys upgrade your computer or not waste money on a graphics card that you don't need. I see people constantly upgrading from, let's say, a 970 or even older graphics card, and they saved up a lot of money and they go for the 4090, and they don't even own a monitor capable of utilizing it. Let me explain. When you go to upgrade your computer or buy a graphics card, the first thing you want to start with really is your monitor. If you just have a 1080p 60 frames per second monitor that's non-G-Sync compatible or FreeSync, and you buy a 4090 graphics card, you're not only wasting all that horsepower, but you're going to have a worse experience with screen tearing and basically your monitor not capable of all those frames, all that horsepower from the graphics card. Right now, for this Christmas season, the best graphics cards to get for you guys right now, I say, is the 30 series or the 3000 series of NVIDIA. I am more of an NVIDIA fan than I am AMD, and I would say the best 1080p gaming experience you can get is the 3060 graphics card. If you want budget, you go for the 3050. And if you have more money to spare and you want to get into the 1440p range, you want a 3070. You could get a 3060 Ti, but in my opinion, you might as well spend a little bit extra money, and it kind of gets you an extra year or two of what I like to call future proofing. There is no future proofing, but you can have more longevity in your system. And this is just for the gamer out there. If you are a content creator, you want a 3070 minimum. You can get away with streaming with a 3060 or 3060 Ti just fine. You'll be great at streaming. You'll have no problems. But if you want a little bit extra firepower under the hood of your computer so you could play games at better frames and stream with the same rig, that's why I recommend a 3070 minimum. If you do any kind of video editing, the 3070 is great. But if you do graphic design, anything with Blender, you want a 3080 minimum or even higher. That's what these mega cards are for, like a 4090. It's for 4K gaming, so make sure you have a 4K monitor. And it's also for graphical and content creation in that sphere. 3D animation, 3D art. If you're able to wait till spring of 2023, obviously the 4070 and the 4060 are going to be amazing. But this is really for people that need to upgrade now, want to upgrade now. A lot of people have very old rigs, and your rig might have lasted 8 to 10 years, and now your graphics card is getting long in the tooth. Now's the time to upgrade. You will be happy with a 3050 or higher. My opinion is for 1080p, you get a 3060 in that range, or equivalent, AMD equivalent. You'll have to look into that one. For 1440p, it's a 3070 and also content creation. And for graphical editing and graphical content creation, the 3080 or greater. You really don't need to be like these streamers that don't even utilize their graphics card. A lot of them have two computers, a streaming rig and a gaming rig. And even they are not using their 4090 to full potential. Again, if you have the money, obviously, you could blow it on whatever you want. But this guide is for people that are budget oriented, that don't want to waste. Another thing you want to think about is, if you're coming from one of these older rigs, your CPU might be old. If you don't feel like getting a whole new motherboard and a CPU, sometimes it is better to put the graphics card to work. And you can offload a lot of pressure on your CPU by going to 1440p gaming. So it might be better for you to get a cheaper or cost-effective 1440p monitor, get a 3070 graphics card, and then play in 1440p because your CPU will have a lot less work to do. Now, some people are coming from real old generational Intels, 5th generation and older, you might really want to start looking into upgrading your CPU. Any new generation Intel after the 12th generation, you can't go wrong with compared to your 5th generation Intel. I am currently on an 8th generation Coffee Lake, an i5 8600K, 6 cores, no threads, and it takes care of everything for all my content creation and streaming. Yes, when I built my computer, it would have been nicer to have the i7 with the hyper-threading, and that would give me more longevity into the future. But my i5 has done great. I overclock it to 4.8 gigahertz all the time. It's been running that way for years, and it's been doing great. But mainly this video is about GPUs. Right now, GPUs, people keep complaining that, oh, you can't get MSRP, yada, yada, yada. Well, look at inflation, look at global economics right now. Of course you're not going to get MSRP, but you should be happy knowing that whatever you invest in now, even a 3050, again, I'm recommending the 3060 instead, bare minimum, these cards will last you twice as long as your current 970 or whatever lasted. These new modern cards, the 3000 series and greater, are going to propel you at least 10 years into the future. Obviously, they might get long in the tooth with games coming out then, but what I'm saying is the technology, the processing cores on these cards, the tensor cores, the RT cores, this is going to really be a whole new generation of technology and computer components that it'll be the electronics that fail way before you're going to be stuttering in games. That's my opinion. You see games now that are so unoptimized when they're released that that's where the problem is. You see games now that are relying on DLSS and other technologies, which is all, going to just be optimized further. More updates are going to come out. They're already talking about releasing the 3rd generation of DLSS on the 20 series and 30 series generation. We'll see. But that's my video on helping you not waste money. Again, check your monitor first. You don't need to get a 4090 if you have a 1080p monitor, okay? That's just a waste of money. But let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up if you like these kind of videos, and I see it in the algorithms. I will make a lot more of them. Share this with a friend. It'll help it grow, and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Thank you for watching.